everybody, welcome to part 2 of the September update, and I'll start out with this part with this Oncidium Cherry Baby, which belongs to my roommate, and it's currently in bud and it's developing really nicely. So pretty soon it'll open up and release its amazing fragrance. I'm actually kind of envious of this one because it's doing a lot better than mine, which is actually a division from this plant. I guess because it's division, I guess one should expect that it wouldn't do as well, because my division is very small. Okay, moving on. Here's this Lycaste hybrid that's still hanging out. We both have the same one. It's a very long-lasting flower. That's really nice. Okay, moving on. This is my LC Schilleriana, which I recently repotted. Nothing else to report there. I guess I should mention that the roots, when I was repotting, didn't look very good. As there actually wasn't many viable roots, which is surprising because it was the blooms were doing really well. But yeah, hopefully now it'll re-establish itself in this new pot, and it'll be okay. But right next to it, this Millennium Magic Witchcraft is doing really well with its flower spike. Let me get to focus there. There you go. So the buds are fattening up, and the characteristic pigmentation is coming right along. So I don't know how many more weeks or days it needs, but it's looking really good. There is the pseudobulb that's really nice and plump, which from the media I think I need to give it a water. Okay, moving on to the next window. Just show you guys this. This is my Psychopsis Mendenhall Hildos. It rebloomed, and it's not in focus right now. Alright, so there we go. It's in focus now. It developed faster than I thought it was going to be. I think this pretty much took about 1 month. I assume it would be longer, but I don't know why I would assume that. But yeah, it's doing really well. It's nice colors again. And right below that is my Lycaste, which it's not in the best condition, but it is older. It's been in bloom for quite a while now, so that's really nice. That pseudobulb that's developing right now, it's putting out all kinds of leaves. It's huge. It's really cool. But yeah. I also need to water this too. To me, it seems a little bit on the drier side, so I think I'll give it a water as soon as I finish recording this. But moving on, this is my NOID Cattleya division. I love how the roots are just attaching itself to the pot here. It's really cool. And the sheet is coming right along. Get it to focus. I don't know why today the camera is so terrible at focusing. But yeah, there it is. It's starting to put out more roots now. There. And right behind it is my Phal Tetraspis C1, which was also given a repot recently. I find that the pot that was in was very small. I think it was a 3-inch plastic pot, and it was drying out very quickly in between watering, so the once a week watering that I was giving it wasn't sufficient, and some of the aerial roots are sort of dried out and desiccated, so I decided to repot it and put in a little bit more sphagnum moss to give it a more humidity and moisture. I want to say it developed a flower spike. It stalled because of the dryness, but let me see if I can get in closer and see to record it. Alright, so here is the spike in question. So you can get better lighting there. So the two nubbins on top, of course, those are roots because they're developing that silvery sheen that roots tend to have. But the one on the bottom there, the smallest nubbin, we got out of focus. I think that might be a flower spike, but I'm not entirely sure because on the edge at the opening there, it is a little bit silvery, so it potentially is a root, but on closer inspection it looks a little bit wedgy. I don't know if that's the appropriate word, but it is very the form, it looks a little different than the root, so I'm guessing that might be a flower spike, but we'll have to see. Unfortunately, it stalled for a moment, I think due to the lack of water. So hopefully this repot sort of makes it develop again. But yeah. Other than that, it's putting out this new leaf, which is doing really well. It's really nice and shiny. Put this back. It should have a lighter greener color, but it's a little bit darker now. So I think because I placed it under the LED lights and it wasn't quite as bright enough. So I'm placing it here back to the window to see if I can help it out. And I've also repotted my Brassavola nodosa. For the same reason same reason why I repotted the Tetraspis C1. But I just went ahead and planted it, or repotted it directly into the cement pot. So that should give it a bit more media to hold in moisture. But yep, has a new growth. Right there. Alright, moving on. Next to that one is my FDK After Dark Sunset Valley Orchids. This is my first Cattleya type orchid that I got, and look what has developed. Now that looks sort of like a root, but I'm hoping that's a flower spike. Alright, moving on to the next window. This Cattleya, NOID is the newest pseudobulbs growing out well. I've moved it again on the other side, so then the pseudobulb will grow straight up, and the roots are just going and going. Not complaining. Looks pretty crazy. This is the Phalaenopsis equestris. That one root that it has is just, it's actually extending again, so that's a good sign, but it's very slow. There's nothing happening to that basal keiki down there too. So yeah. This one is one of those leafless orchid, the Chiloschista, and it's doing well. And I think there's a flower spike that's developing. I'm not entirely sure because it's so small. See if I can focus in there. Yeah, right there between the two green root tips. I think that's a flower spike. It's supposed to be a very prolific bloomer, so maybe it's time for it to bloom again. That's cool. I've never seen it bloom before, so that would be exciting if it is a flower spike. Yep. Let's put this back. And there, of course, is my Cardinal Gem, which was featured in another video. It's doing well. Nothing has changed significantly since that video. And those two are hanged from this CG Roebling Sentinel. And look at the buds that's inside that sheath there. I'm sort of on the fence of whether or not to cut the sheath to help out the buds. I'll see in the next few days if it needs to. Yeah, it's fattening up nicely. So I'm guessing there's only 2 flower buds in there. Yep. Here's take a look at the roots. Also doing really nice. Nothing to report in this guy. Just lots of roots growing. This is one of my Phalaenopsis seedling. It's doing really well. This is the Phalaenopsis Hitomi Watanabe. I keep forgetting the name of it, but I'll put it on the screen. But it's putting out roots everywhere. And the new leaf is really shiny, so I take that as a sign of health, of good health. And if I can find it, there is some roots in there too, right there. Yeah, so it's establishing itself very nicely. It needs a little water though. Yeah, we'll do that after this video. Before we move on to the next one, I just want to show you guys my little Orchid Hall yesterday. And check that out. It's a variegated leaf Phalaenopsis. It's the second one that I purchased. This one is amabilis art leaf type 1. So that my orchid nursery had type 1 and type 2. I'm not really sure what the difference is. I tried to look it up while I was at the greenhouse, but I couldn't find any information. I couldn't find any information about this particular cultivar, the art leaf. So it's really pretty and interesting leaves. And there are, as far as I can tell, there's like 3 or 4 keikis, and I can't really tell which one is the mother plant because they're. This one and this one is about the same size, and this flower spike, or I don't know what this is, but I think it's putting out keiki too. And right beside that there is another flower spike. Here's a healthy root tip that's not in focus. But yeah, that's really cool. It needs a repot. I'm not sure how old that media, that sphagnum moss in there is, but I'm sure it will benefit from a repotting. That's interesting. That's not what that is. Yeah. Alright. Some other orchids that I got yesterday is Aerangis luteo-alba variety rhodosticta, which is one of the parents of my Cardinal Gem. I actually went yesterday looking for a my stack CDI, and on the website it said that it did have it stocked, but I couldn't find one, and I asked some of the employees there and they couldn't find one either, but this was there. I think this was new or something, because otherwise I would have bought it a long time ago if they had it. But yeah, now to find the my stack CDI, and then we'll have a family of Aerangis. Right. Next one is in flower. This is a NOID Phalaenopsis, but it's peloric. It's my first one, and it's very unusual. It looks kind of like Cassidy, doesn't it? But yeah, it's a medium-sized orchid, and I'm sure you could benefit from repotting as well. But I'm not going to do it while it's in bud. I still want to enjoy those weird flowers. Alright, so this one is another Cattleya, third one. And this one, I know for sure it's going to be really cool because it's FDK After Dark SVO Black Pearl. So the SVO Black Pearl, I looked it up, it is the black flower one. And this was intermingled with the other Cattleya, the first Cattleya that I bought, the other After Dark. I don't know if the grower realized that they had it intermingled, or the other After Dark was just a mistake that they in the shipment, and I just happened to buy it. But I'm glad I find the right one. Yeah. So I think it's about to lose this leaf. Or shed it. Right. Let's move this over and show you this another Phalaenopsis. This one I haven't featured in any videos yet, but this is Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. So it's in spike right now, and there are 4 spikes, and I believe there's one that's in development, so potentially 5, but 2 of them are in bloom right now. This is the first one. Yep, there you go. Can you read the hieroglyphics on there? I think it says to buy more orchids. Just kidding. I don't need to buy any more orchids. I'm running out of room. Alright, but there's not a lot of blooms per spike. I don't know if this is the type of this, or just the habit of this type, but yeah, just 3 here and 1 here, and there's a bud right behind that that's forming. So the other ones are the other flower spikes are still immature at the moment, so there's no buds yet. That one's really short, so yeah, the flowers are very pretty. Okay, let's move over to the next window. Oh, before we do, I have this laid out just to film. This is a miniature dendrobium, which which is really nice because I don't like dendrobiums that are too large. And look at the blooms. It's really pretty. They're more opening up. So here's the tag for it. Dendrobium Burana Diamond number 2. I actually have the same plant as Anna from Anna Flores de Orchid. Oh my god, I forgot the name of her channel. Anna, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's really pretty. I don't know, these wrinkles mean that it's too dry or something. But it also needs a watering. Can you hear that? The sphagnum moss. I think I'm gonna go with dressing most of the pots with sphagnum moss because it sort of gives me an idea of when to rehydrate the orchid, because you can hear it. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, moving on. I made quite a bit of rearrangement and repotting since the last video. This is the Phalaenopsis violacea. I repotted it for the same reason that I repotted the Tetraspis. This bigger pot hopefully will allow me to give it more time before the next watering. And yeah, like I said, I dress it with the sphagnum moss just to give me an idea when to rewater it. But it's putting out this new leaf, so it's looking good. And I've also placed some of the seedling Cattleya, some of which I recently got through the mail from one of our grower in the Atlanta Orchid Society. But yeah, I'm going to show you what they are. This one is, oh, come on, there we go, LC Tropical Pointer Cheetah. So I see a lot of people from Facebook, various orchid groups have this one, and it's spotted orangey yellow color. It looks really nice. This one I think I filmed before. It's the same grower. It's from the same grower as the, oh gosh, I think I need to clean the lens or something. LC Paola Matano Cerulean. Put it back. I've buried or partially buried all the pots because this particular grower, Jewel Orchids, he tends to put those packing peanuts underneath at the very bottom of the pots, so it's very top heavy. So by burying them, I can sort of stabilize them. Okay, moving on to the next one. This one was a freebie. He just gave this to me with my order. Gosh, it's terrible. Cattleya Caudebec Candy, which is a cross between a Lulu Hot Pink and Caudebec Marty's Orchid. So this is another spotted orchid. I was eyeing this one. I wasn't sure if I really wanted it, but I'm glad they gave it to me for free. Alright, the other one is a Cattleya amethystoglossa. This is a variety Cerulea. So this one is different than the regular amethystoglossa, which is usually pink with purple dots or spots. This one is white with purple spots. So that should be really pretty and interesting. This one is my Millennium variety Alba, which is just doing its thing. This one is a division from my mom's orchid. It's putting out a flower bud, or sorry, not flower bud, a new growth right there. And I've staked it recently, and repotted it again just to make it, because it was falling out of the pot, because essentially there was no roots in there, so there's nothing to sort of ground it, so I had to repot it and staked it to give it more stability, and also add the sphagnum moss to control the moisture. I've removed everything, all the plants underneath the very last shelf because there's practically no light there. But yeah, that's it for the windowsill portion. And the next bit will be, oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot about the shelf. Well, there's nothing really to report here. Let's see. I guess this is a new growth on the Forbesii, the Cattleya Forbesii. It's growing downwards, which is really weird. I don't know how to correct that. I guess I'll let it be. Yeah, I don't want to break anything off, so I'll just leave it there as is. The Phalaenopsis Stuartiana, or Stuartiana, I keep saying that wrong. It's doing fine. It's doing well. The new leaf is very big now, and I love the modeling. Alright, so yeah, that's it for the windowsill part. Stay tuned for part 3. Alright, bye.